Tonight, it's the veteran stars that lead the defending national champions of #1 Villanova against the young guns, 17-year-old Marcus Howard, Sam Hauser, a pair of sharpshooters who love to rain threes from downtown. And that's where we are, downtown Milwaukee, for tonight's matchup in the Big East. Highly anticipated Marquette taking on the Villanova Wildcats. It's the Lincoln FS1 College Hoop Tip-Off. We're so happy to have you with us. Really looking forward to tonight's game. And I'm next to the governor. I'm next to Bill Raftery. What could be better? This is a game that will be determined from beyond the arc.
No question about it. Both teams like threes, but how did they get it?
Yeah.
Dribble penetration is key. You must contain it. The other thing is tempo. We know Villanova very comfortable late in the shot clock.
No question about it. Let's take a look at the starting fives for both teams, brought to you by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Jalen Brunson, the super soph, has taken over where Ryan Archidiacono left off. Hart, Jenkins, Bridges, and Reynolds, the rest of the starting five. Hanif Cheatham will join forces with Howard. Jawan Johnson is a very athletic young man. Watch out for him. Sam Hauser and the big kid, the transfer from Indiana by way of a rural town just outside Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Luke Fisher. And he played big. 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 block shots in their win against #7 Creighton. And this is, as we said, as anticipated a road game as I think Jay Wright has had all year. After visiting with him today, you could tell how concerned he was about the matchup.
And it's a tough team to prepare for. You mentioned the young guns. I thought you were talking about me there for a second. But they're such good shooters. They found a way. And you mentioned Big Luke. If he plays like that, it's a different Marquette team.
Steve Wojciechowski's team had been close but had not gotten over the hump until they beat Creighton. Now, granted, Maurice Watson out for the year and adjusting Coach McDermott's team, but that was a huge confidence builder for his club, and he'd like to see it have a lasting and lingering effect in tonight's matchup. Our officials, a veteran crew, lots of Final Fours combined between Ed Corbett, Mike Eads, and Evan Burrows. We're happy to have you with us, the mighty Big East on FS1, and we're good to go. The opening tap is saved into Marquette's hands, and Howard will run the show.
Timmy B right now. Villanova goes in the minute. Run their stuff. A lot of double screens, a lot of ball screens and roll, replace. Just like this, Hauser can shoot, as you mentioned. We're going to take advantage of that mismatch.
Indeed.
We worked on that today.
Got everything but the finish out of that one.
A lot of people don't take advantage when they switch automatically.
A lot of pressure, I think, Bill, for a young team like this to get out of the gates quickly.
At home. First 4, get your legs, nice open look. And
not there.
Bridges, one of those guys who can step up his game.
Reynolds comes down with a rebound and the putback. Villanova picks them up with a little half-court pressure and then backs off.
Both clubs concerned about the press and turnovers. Villanova extraordinary on runouts after a mistake. Dribble handoff. You can dribble both ways, likes to spin back.
Jawan Johnson has it knocked away. Great defensive work. And we'll say that often about Josh Hart. He is, without question, the best two-way player in the league. Keys to Success, sponsored by SoFi. What are they, Bill?
I'll get that lane and kick, and that's what Villanova does beautifully. And the big guy, they tried to go to Luke. They worked on it all day, or the hour and change. The big fella has to loom large.
SoFi offering smart solutions to help you reach your financial goals.
Got to communicate this out of bounds. A lot of bumps and the lock low. Reynolds with a good job defensively.
Oh, big time.
And then, of course, on the corner, Jenkins got a piece, but a great front by Reynolds.
Yeah, that was deflected by Jenkins.
There's that lane touch.
Yeah.
And look at the look. Pretty good.
Bridges unable to handle it, but it was there for Brunson.
And maybe put it on the deck would have been an easier one to catch. But you just see here the collective defense, the front, the help, the squeeze, and the hands, and the turnover.
Right away, a turnover. Brunson gets it. Hart with a beautiful handoff. and Bridges knows where to go.
Well, that kid, big time. He'll be a little more consistent, so he shines of greatness.
I think they've surprised the 17-year-old with some of this half-court zone pressure that they put out.
And you saw today, they walked through it, want to step to it, post up. Nice cross.
Johnson. And he got caught in midair. 3 quick turnovers now. Brunson a pull-up. Oh, in the iron kind to Villanova.
Get it away early. I meant the comment. That's what they want. Post and a little nickel dimer in there by Hart. Eddie Corbett with the call. Nice to see Eddie on the road. He's been back east quite a bit.
Well, Villanova with 3 field goals from 3 different guys. DiVincenzo checks into the game. This is not a deep team. In your championship game against North Carolina last year, Bill, they played 9 guys, and they're only playing 7 this year.
Well, we know Booth's not there. A little turnover again, and this kills you.
Yep. Hart all the way to the rack. And Wojo's going to have to get a timeout.
You alluded to it. You were right on the money about a start at home. You got to get the crowd behind you. Got to settle down.
Too many turnovers too often. And that leads to success for the best two-way player in the country. You got to have it, and Villanova does have heart. Well, Marquette's had 3 straight turns in 3 straight possessions. Villanova made 4 in a row, and they're all still standing here at the Bradley Center because that's the tradition until you make a bucket.
We had that tradition when I was coaching. It took a half one game.
I believe I remember that.
To get people to, you may have done the game.
I think it was with, I saw half the floor most of the night.
Calm down now, get it inside. I think give Luke a touch. A nice front. That's what they do great. They pressure the ball, take away vision.
Well, Fisher really wanted it. Didn't get it.
Got away with a walk, I think.
Johnson pulls up baseline.
There you go. Come on. They got a lot of guys who can step up big time. Nice pull-up delivery. DiVincenzo, a guy that can now complement Brunson. They can play on the ball with him. And Brunson's really a talented kid. Great head for the game, great feel. They got a little small change with DiVincenzo inside, I think.
Yep. He had Rousey's arm wrapped around him. Andrew is not afraid to get physical to make up for the slight of size. They list him at 5'10". That may be a bit liberal. Youngster out of Lexington, Virginia, Rockbridge High School, transferred from UNC Asheville.
Jay Wright was talking about guys who weren't primetime players early in the year, and he's one of them.
Complexion's changed since they last met in the blowout at Wells Fargo.
They talk about the pump fake, not nice look, and nobody home. Nobody home.
Fisher got caught, and there was no backside help to go.
That's what Jenkins, he's gotten better at making plays.
Villanova's 10 points, Bill, all in the paint. Everything coming inside.
Some mistakes.
Johnson, and they're living with the 3. Jenkins lost that one.
Off his teammate, too.
Yeah.
I think it was off Brunson's foot, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, at this stage, the Golden Eagles will take whatever break they can get. Jay Wright's team showing its wares early on. FS1 is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. We touched on how important this game was given what happened over the weekend and the momentum built on Saturday at Wells Fargo. Villanova took care of business against Providence. Josh Hart led the way with 25. He had plenty of help, though, from his friends as the Wildcats ran roughshod over the Friars. Maurice Watson out for the rest of the season. Everyone feels badly for that young man, but no one's going to care about it when they come into play. Certainly this team didn't. Marquette got it done. Luke Fisher with 18 big points coming off a 2-point performance at Butler. His play, Steve Wojciechowski told us, was the catalyst then. He needs him to play big again tonight.
And, of course, you got a shot at Reinhardt there. He's on the floor. He can really get after it. You can see the step-up numbers, and they need him. He's a really talented kid. Great left-hand hook shot. Nice cut here. Hauser missed. A little trap. They just react to situations. in terrific fashion. Here's ball screen, turn the corner, look at this hedge, and switch.
There's Fisher. Yes, and a foul. And it was on the switch.
Second one.
Yep.
They caught him in rotation. And not enough pressure on the ball. Hart trying to recover down the lane, and you can just see this little move here drags a couple of defenders, and Hart gets turned around. A great dive to the rim by the big fella. Big Luke takes care of those Bulldogs and trying to take care of the Wildcats tonight.
The double whammy for Jay Wright on that foul, Bill, as that's number 2 on Hart, and that will force him to the bench for quite some time, one would think.
I know you're quite the dog lover. I just mentioned he's got 2 Bulldogs.
Yeah.
I said, as a college student, how do you afford feeding them? He said, they don't eat much.
Yeah, the smaller dogs are the ones that cost more to feed.
Is that right?
That's what I'm told, yes.
Well, you can give me your per diem and take care of that. Very smooth, flowing offense. Ball reversal use each side of the floor.
Bridges.
And Bridges. Tough kid.
He was as confident early against PC on Saturday. Jim Jackson and I were there for that game as I've ever seen him.
He's a prospect. No, quite big-time prospect.
Nice help. Right into a double team.
See that double? You turn your back. Against some teams, you can get away with it. They have a great help philosophy. And Ojo knows how difficult it can be to get away with it. Once you turn in here and look at the help side, just a great reaction, read, and understanding. And they get down and after it. Now, Hart get a little blow with those 2 fouls. Pascal comes in. Now, this is the small lineup. This is a tough matchup for Fisher. Because Pascal can step out and make shots. He's going to have to chase him if they stay man.
And Reynolds is out of the game now. So this is about as much of the Villanova bench as you'll ever see. DiVincenzo and Pascal, and that is it. Jenkins. A little short with that one. Pulled down by the smallest guy on the floor, Rousey.
He's done a better job of that. Look at the hands here, almost another steal. Nice front by DiVincenzo.
Wilson just into the game, feeds Fisher again.
Oh, not bad though. I like what they're doing.
Yeah, 2 hard-look misses for Fisher.
Yeah, this is where you got problems. Jenkins is the power forward in this lineup now. Here's the yo-yo.
Look at Brunson's strength, though. I mean, he uses that lower body like his dad once did when he played.
He reminds me of you. He doesn't look athletic, but he's deceptive. He can do some really good things. Mentioned Wake Forest, he attacked the rim against Kyle. Nice pass.
To Fisher again. Yes, and a foul.
They're doing a really good job. That time decimating the D with the dribble drive. And Fisher looks like a different guy. Head up, alert, good hands. The ability to catch and finish. You open and make yourself available. Perfect delivery. Right in the pocket. Big fella doing a good, solid job.
Mikal Bridges got the foul, and Fisher will get to the line. The other thing that you notice is Wojo has certainly told the guys, get it to my big fella. Because they are looking for him around the rim every time they drive. This time he gets the old-fashioned three-point play. Matt Helt. 6'10", 245-pounder out of Neenah, Wisconsin. Checks into the game for Big Luke.
He's a pretty good defender, picks up charges. They go 1-3-1. They do this during the course of the year. A little bit like the Xavier look. You got to be careful of the gap, going to the elbow and finding opposite. And particularly Jenkins stretching the D. Pretty good catch. Look at this look.
Bridges again.
Nice look.
Not on that side. He hit 2 on the other wing.
Nice screen out, too.
DiVincenzo. Rousey, another rebound. Boy, that young man has a nose for the ball as a guard. Pulling down rebound after rebound. The veteran Wilson. Dwayne Wilson, the junior from Dominican, right here in Milwaukee.
Excellent D's, known for can bite you with that 3 on occasion. Pump to the drive on occasion. But how sweet is it? You mentioned Rousey. The crowd a little aroused now. Into it. Little nylon.
Villanova Has seen its lead cut down to 5. The veteran Wilson comes in and nails a 3, and they live with it, don't they, Bill?
They sure do, with confidence, and that's the freedom they get. Both these coaches, these kids don't look over at the bench, and often the judgment is proper. Good shot selection, and when they go downtown, that's going to set it up for the big fella. Luke can do some big-time damage to help them.
Jay Wright told us before the game, look, they shoot over 50% from 3, and now they're getting it from literally everyone on the floor. And he told his guys at practice today, Bill, you know, you got to make adjustments on the fly with who you got to hedge and maybe double.
2-3 zone, they pick it apart.
And it's
nice.
A Pascal slam.
How about that timeout? You think some direction was given? Nice little flash to the foul line. I think Rousey and Reinhardt do some job when they come in the game. Nice ball movement here.
Ooh, Wilson with a beautiful ball fake. Can't get that one to go. Johnson crashing the glass, but it's pulled down by Pascal.
A nice little pump fake, and he does that really well. Wilson. Straight up man now on the miss.
Pascal was on. Oh, how beautiful
was that? A bounce or a foul?
Yeah. No, he was on the in line.
Okay.
That's right, though. It was a beautiful pass, wasn't it?
I still like the force out rule.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Saves from a foul.
Helt is out of the game. Fisher checks back in for the Golden Eagles.
Got to post up. That's what they worked on today.
Those four
straight up man.
Those 4 turnovers led to 10 points for Villanova. Those live ball turnovers can really hurt you.
Wow.
Reinhardt, and he's hit.
Just a little tardy on the trail. He's a stocky, strong kid, isn't he?
You know, he, I think, almost invites the contact.
Oh, he does. He loves it. A nice little Fisher with a little hip check that helps out a little bit. Did he get Brunson on that one?
It was Pascal that got the foul, his first.
This kid's a load, though, because he can catch and shoot threes and see him pump fake, pull-up jumper.
Much traveled.
Big free throws against Seton Hall.
Yes, he did.
He's a gamer.
Much traveled young man from Dana Point, California, transferred from USC, also spent some time in Vegas. This is a kid that does not mind the big moment. He'll just step right in and take it.
And you can relate with the much travel. Right?
Segment to segment.
There we go, 1-3-1 again, extending. Cheatham with that long arm like McCure at Xavier.
DiVincenzo.
They worked on this going baseline. Nobody's afraid to pull the trigger with this Villanova team.
Keeping it alive. Bridges.
They were like
human pogo sticks.
Yeah, Reynolds really did. Great play keeping alive to his partner for the completion.
Bridges now has 7 of Villanova's 19, and the lead is 8.
They like to do the weave and a run out. Now they got what they wanted.
Fisher
flushes
it.
Boy, that's game preparation, scouting. Fisher alert, and the nice dive with the slip.
Wojo talked about that earlier today. He simply said, if they pressure, we should get dunks. Brunson.
Look at this entry.
Wide open again is Bridges. Ooh, halfway down the cylinder and out. But a confident stroke.
It's all about ball movement. Get yourself in position to attack a little off the dribble.
Johnson finds an avenue.
He's great on that crossover. He can really leave you in abeyance.
Classic Memphian from Southwind High School. And here comes the crowd at the Bradley Center.
Well, this sounds great, doesn't it, this building?
Fisher clears. Rousey looks. Push, baby, push. Yes, sirree. Here they come.
That kid is a player. Plays with a lot of confidence. Oh, this is like the old days here, isn't it? This building.
Al McGuire is beaming.
Yeah. Well, he was at the Mecca, right?
Yes, he was.
got to flash, got to help out.
Bridges again, a silencer. Fans wanted a player control foul.
I like the play on, though.
I did too.
Just a little hip. Again, they take advantage inside.
Fisher can't connect that time. Brunson's on the move again.
Look how he takes out the cut path. How tough is that? He did a great job making sure Johnson couldn't get in the way. Smart little play, but at the other end, the big fella showing you he's for real. Coming off a great game against Creighton, a little slip, the good hands, and how about this? Send it in. Germantown, Wisconsin. Put a little cheese in your soup.
Last segment, Bill, of basketball that we had. Marquette went on a 14-4 tear, only to have a couple of silencers, one especially from Bridges that really mattered, and it says so much about how good Villanova really is and their understanding of the game, that here's Bridges, 4th on the team in scoring, averaging just under 10. He's already got 10. And Josh Hart, the soul, your glue, is on the bench saddled with 2, and you still have control.
And the big thing is Wojo with the zone, the 1-3-1. You can't simulate that in practice if you're Villanova.
Right.
They don't have the size, the speed, the coverage, so it takes a while to adjust. So you mentioned the silencers, and see if they use the dribble a little bit more, keep it alive, find some people.
Brunson at the free throw line. There was a time when you'd say, we'll see how he fits into the Arcidiacono role. And Ryan was magnificent with this team. It was his team. Brunson's already almost there, isn't he?
Well, the thing about him is you've got to admire him last year. With his talent to run a team and his adjustment, there's just a lot of kids would not be able to swallow that. Of course, when you're son of a great player, you know, you learn a lot about the game and winning. This is a small lineup with both clubs. You're talking about 4. This is a YMCA game right now.
With Rousey at 5'10", leading the way, and Reinhardt way deep.
Wow,
Too strong.
Those are fast break starters. Straight up now. Not bad after the timeout, because I'm sure Wojo figures Jay did some things to shake against the 1-3-1. Nice look again. Boy, they're getting it inside so easily.
Over Cheatham. And the rebound pulled down by Henny Cheatham. To Johnson.
Pretty good catch.
Brunson tries to save it. Was on the inline. It will be Marquette's basketball underneath their own hoop.
Boy, that was not an easy catch for Johnson. You got to make a better look. He's got a layup. Put it in the pocket.
Rousey with 2 sits down. Marcus Howard checks back in.
He had a great game against Creighton too. Howard, nice screen to give the open look.
Brunson came down gingerly on that left ankle.
He's not used to getting up that high.
He's going to try to walk it off and let DiVincenzo control the rock.
A little pinned down situation. They are staying at home on this guy here. Nice look.
To DiVincenzo. Way too strong. Reinhardt. That was the proper pass. And JJ with a payday.
This kid is really extraordinary off the bounce.
I tell you,
ecstasy with that dribble.
I love the dime because it was a behind-the-back pass, but appropriate. You know, you don't often say that in the college game.
There's the stop and a foot in the lane. Oh, discontinued.
Yeah. Little double dribble.
He was trying to get it into the post. Pascal went to the other box. And this is what happens on the road, huh? You're not as comfortable as you are at home. And you like this pass. Thank God it worked, or he would have seen the exit. Look at this.
Al would call that the French pastry, Bill.
Pretty good dance. Why not? Regaling himself. Not bad, Jamar.
1 Villanova with the lead, 7:46 remaining. Let's go inside the huddle of both coaches, beginning with Jay Wright.
Listen, don't give up your dribble. Don't give up your dribble and try to make plays. Like you're just picking up your dribble for no reason, and then you're trying to pass, fake, and make plays, right?
Now we're playing ball. Now we're playing ball. Be aware. What I want, our ball out of bounds under. Be aware of their press. Set up stack. Kate and Marcus are in the stack.
You have got to remain strong with the basketball because, as he said, they're ragging our guards all the way down the floor.
And you heard Jay, of course, saying the dribble, keep it alive, because they're so good at getting into the lane and establishing a pivot foot and then finding people. Because he's wasting some energy, but this game takes a lot out of you.
Think about
That's why I look so bad at this age. It is amazing, the energy expended.
Yeah. By the way, Marquette, in the first 6 minutes, Bill, they were 2 of 7 from the floor, 4 turnovers. In the last 6-14, 6 of 10 from the floor, no turns. Much more efficient with the basketball, the team in white.
Ooh, Johnson, not
wow.
a good one. Not a good one. You're playing so well. That's not exactly what you want.
Wojo, the look on his face said it all. It was painful. Right away, Hauser's up, looking to come in on the next dead ball. Jenkins.
Okay, that's a ball play. Look at this rebound.
Bridges all over the place, and there's a, by the way, 3-second violation against him. He was looking for some help. No one came to him. He's saying it's on him. I'm not so sure. He needed some help from his friends.
Well, so nobody created a passing lane for him. Jay didn't like the call. But the only one who could give it, right?
Yeah.
Nice sustaining, and they looked to refuse it, but didn't finish.
Yeah.
Cheatham. Great balance right here. Look at the punt. They're the best in the country, I think. All 5 guys can jump in the air.
You can talk about it all day long, and Wojo did, right?
Exactly. And here's one, a little bite, you jump. Occasionally he goes right into the body and gets a 3-shot foul. Another one there, and dispersing the ball. One of the best in the country. Brunson, a nice cut here. How about that?
Cut. And one to go with it.
Boy, what a step and go. What a nice read. You don't face the ball to the corner, you pay for it. A wily young player really understands the game. They're going to take away this, so he goes the other way. And the beneficiary of a 3-point opportunity is a tardy defense, particularly on the inbounds pass.
5 offensive rebounds for Villanova to just 1 for Marquette. Those recycles can add up. 9 in the game now for Brunson. It's 27-20.
And you mentioned all this without Hart.
Yeah. Got that second foul just as we started the second 4 minutes of the first half.
They got the mismatch inside now. They got to wait. Give them a chance to come over.
Yep.
That's just, you got to use some good judgment. Give your big guy a chance to reset, duck in, and bang.
Yeah, Reinhardt had him. Chose not to throw it in.
I used to call the time I say to guys, would you introduce yourself to one another? Nice.
Bridges runs right into a double team.
Ooh, a lot of dribbles there.
Yeah. He's really good. Redshirt freshman from Wilmington, Delaware.
And that broken foot last year, the reason.
He has filled the spot vacated by Booth and his injury admirably. Wayne Wilson back on the floor. Once the leader of this team, rejected by Reynolds.
How about that presence?
Well, they missed. Some people thought Daniel Ochefu coming into the season, but Reynolds has stepped his game up.
He sure has. Knows his role, knows how to contribute. Doesn't really have as much with that little hook shot in the lane as Daniel did, but great presentation.
Pascal checks in for Bridges.
This is one of your favorite towns, I think, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Love
Beer
coming
capital of the world in the old days. Nice cross again.
Howard got a bump, then got rejected. In among the towers.
Pascal fighting that dribble there.
Marquette suddenly won for their last 9 And this lead has gone from 4 to 9 in the last couple of minutes for Villanova.
And this is where they are patient. They're going to beat you early if it shows. If not, they know how to milk it. They're comfortable. Little hole in the box on Jenkins.
I think they may be getting Howard here, and that's an, oh, by the way, second foul. He was, as they say, rooting out his opponent with the derriere, and that's really an unforced error. That's his second now.
That's a new rule, and we're going to use it tonight when we go out. Invading my territory. You're intrusive.
I'll do my best not to, okay?
We need our space. But that's the rule, and you got to pay attention to it. Don't extend your arms.
By the way, Jenkins is still scoreless, and Hart's been out of the game for some time.
He knows when to go, what speed to go. Great control. So smart. Brunson.
There you see Josh reduced to assistant coach over there with
He doesn't look
Dunleavy.
happy over there, does he?
No, he's over there with Baker Dunleavy and not too happy about it.
Yeah, I can relate.
Well, tomorrow, a Big East doubleheader on FS1. It begins with St. John's taking on Providence at 6:30, and then Andrew Travis and number 11 Butler match up with Seton Hall. You and I will be on hand for that one. It's a Big East basketball doubleheader tomorrow right here on FS1.
A lot of tough games for these teams when you're thinking of NCAA tournament time. Who's going to be dancing?
Does that mean I've got to give you as much space tomorrow, too?
You're pretty well known in Jersey. You'll be all right. Just don't go on the GW Bridge. We might stall you a little bit. Oh, nice double.
Look at that double team. And a quick timeout by the veteran Jenkins after Pascal got the ball.
That's where they're tough. That doesn't have to be spoken. That's a read by a team that plays hard on every trip. You know, they don't look like an overpowering team, but collectively, these guys just put it all together. Here's the one trap, and now the reaction, just come with it, and it just circles. You get the opportunity. Thought he could have maybe rolled it to his buddy, but look at that. It's Big Smooth calling the timeout.
There are different ways to win in college basketball. There's no denying that. John Calipari's done it with a lot of one-and-dones. That's well documented. Some other powerful programs have been very successful with young players. I asked Steve Wojciechowski today, because of the way Villanova is and the way they're built, like Notre Dame's Mike Brake, do you want to be young and exuberant, or do you want? He says, no, I want to get old and stay old.
Well, I want to be young.
Yeah.
I mean, but no, I understand totally. But he did say if a young man who's a great talent and the potential of being a one and done, he should do it. And Jay's philosophy is very similar. And that's what's been their success. Grooming kids, buying into what they're trying to do, being unselfish, playing for the name on the front.
The 3 seniors for Villanova.
Here's the 1-3-1, which had its impact. So I like this play.
Ball kicked by Wilson. The 3 seniors, though, Bill, Bridges, Jenkins, and Hart.
He didn't keep the kick and play. That happened to the Packers, too.
Right. Those guys really control this team for Villanova. And Jay would tell you in a heartbeat, they help coach my team.
He doesn't want to look forward. Certainly losing these guys.
Hart is set, by the way, for the last 11. And in that time, Villanova's been ahead. Make it 23-16 with Hart on the bench.
How about the way they set that up, though? Pass, dive to the box, diagonal look. You just can't cover with that weak side. It's usually a smaller individual as well.
Marquette has gone stone cold since cutting it to 4 at 24-20. And they need something to happen in these last 4 minutes. Wilson, short arm that one. This is what Villanova will do to you. They're 1 for their last 10, Marquette.
Pump, give.
Pascal.
And he's been working on that shot. Great looking stroke of late, I think. Nobody at the rim.
Johnson
steps.
Yep.
And nobody there. He should have fan dribbled, waited for his teammates. They need a little composure when they play a great team like this. They'll put you in a wrapper.
Angeles, Mr. Burkhardt.
Absolutely.
Good to hear his voice again. Connected with us in college basketball after a great NFL season and soon to be Major League season. Boy, the lane touches for Villanova. They've been close to the 10 and made it happen.
Boy, you step that close to the rim, you are in trouble. You decimated your interior defense. And if you double or help, they find some people. And this is that terrific attack of the 1-3-1 zone. the diagonal look, the fill at the other box, and dynamite at the 10.
Well, you see the points in the paint, and it's been all Villanova of late. In the last 6.5, 1 of 10 from the floor for Marquette. I mentioned Bridges a moment ago. It's actually Reynolds that's the other senior, but Bridges has been playing like one without a doubt. Super sophomore that plays beyond his years.
Here's a little 2-3. They're going to fill the foul line and turn and look.
DiVincenzo. Well, the air unkind that time. Loose ball. And we've got a tie-up, I believe, and the arrow is pointing towards Marquette.
Weren't real patient on that last trip, Villanova. But again, Jay never really talks about shooting.
Yeah.
I mean, he expects him to use good judgment and get good shots.
When you think about this, though.
You know what's sad? We never looked that good.
No, you're right.
Even when it counted, so to speak.
By the way, in the last, I mentioned 6.5 minutes, 1 of 10 and 14-2. They're doing all of this with arguably their best player and a Player of the Year candidate on the bench.
Not arguably.
Yeah, he's right there, no doubt about it.
There's a little pressure once again, always making you think. You got a timeout.
Yeah.
Always ready. Nobody posted. Nobody ready. Should stay behind the line if you see that and pass over. That's your attack.
13-point lead for Villanova. Big East College Hoops on FS1 is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Did I worry about Kevin back in the studio with those two guys? He's not used to their hours. He cannot keep up with them.
Boy, you're one to talk. I gotta stay up with you tonight in Milwaukee and manage to get to Gotham and over to Jersey by tomorrow night.
Well, don't forget he's worked with Lynch all year, so he's used to banging around. A very, very workmanlike performance by Villanova. I'm sure the guys in the studio will break it down. They don't worry about size differential.
Jenkins has hardly looked for a shot.
No, that's okay. They're not. It's all about a win. Straight up man. And they put some wrinkles in occasionally. And Fisher ducking in, and the ball's not there. He is. And what a great job by
another steal. Brunson. Well, you make a lazy pass, they'll make you pay.
Yeah, they just read things, anticipate. He's got a great head.
The lead is ballooned to 15, and Brunson has 13 on the night. And anxiety is creeping into this young Golden Eagles team. They need something good, Bill, to happen, and soon.
Well, this is where Villanova has to concentrate, too. Teams lately, they get Luke with the foul trying to duck in.
Yeah.
I don't blame him for that, though. He's been working hard. The ball hasn't been arriving. But this is where you got to hang tough. Teams have a tendency to relax with these leads. We've seen it all over the country.
Well, Villanova had a huge lead at one point against Providence of 21 just on Saturday, and PC managed to cut it down to 9 before they took over. There have been those moments, even with great teams like Villanova, where you tend to relax, but you've got to be good enough to take advantage. And Marquette with no points in the last 5:34.
This is where it all starts. Oh, they switch and nobody picks up.
An open shot.
No communication.
Got 15 now.
And just a little exchange. Disastrous.
Now a 13-to-love run.
I did not expect this. How about you?
No.
Nice pass.
Fisher gets it to go. But this is a young Marquette team, and we stated they needed an early start. They needed to get out of the gates. And once they closed it to 24-20, it was as if Villanova said, all right, we're going to take it to another level now.
Now you got to close better right now on the defensive end. They go 1-3-1 again.
DiVincenzo splits the double and finds Bridges.
Long.
Too strong. Hauser gets it out to Rousey. No transition points of late, and that will remain the case. Reinhardt has it rejected. Boy, are they denying. You talk about protecting the rim.
Well, Rousey takes the shot, and Luke is not even in the frame. And, of course, this is the end of the play that you mentioned. Good collective defense. Bridges, big time.
4 big blocks for Villanova. Reinhardt from downtown. Not
Good
there.
hustle.
Run down by Hauser.
Push.
There's a push.
DiVincenzo, I think, with the discard. A little rousing applause by the denizens.
And that's the first on Dante DiVincenzo.
You know, I was talking today to Tommy Pecora's longtime assistant for Jay at Hofstra, and he was saying that because of the looks and the suits of Jay Wright, nobody knows how competitive this guy is.
Oh, you're right.
How sharp he is about the game. Maybe I should have worn better suits and been deceptive.
I think the plaids and the pleats got you.
Yeah, they did.
Over time.
All I needed was that guitar.
Yeah. Sign of the
Really
times. So there's a
diamond.
little foul that goes against Reynolds.
A little small change on the reach in. You don't want him fouled that far from the goal.
But again, still just the 6th team foul committed. So you play that kind of defense, and yet you do so without fouling. Says a lot about Villanova on this end of the floor. That's a nice look. Cheatham passes up a shot. Hauser, not there. Rousey saves it. And a recycle. Got to be willing to take those open looks. Cheatham, hello. That was a beautiful drive and finger roll.
He took away the closeout and took the attack to the 10.
Crowd hoping for a stop. They're ready to explode here, but Villanova has really, with their defense and their maturity, taken them out of the game here in the first 20 minutes.
Nice to have a guy like this with the ball. You know, he's going to turn it on. It'll be like 8 to 7 seconds, I think, before they make a move. He's got a look. Nice
takeaway by Reinhardt. Was that saved?
We got
and then
a foul
on Reinhardt.
Boy,
Good boy.
And that's 7. That's
one
1 and 1.
And that's 1 on the shot clock.
Unbelievable.
They had 1 on the shot clock as the foul was being committed. You talk about a heartbreak for Wojo's team.
That is really a shame. And just a good effort.
Yeah,
No matter who you are, you got to get down and dirty for Villanova. The big fella, Jenkins, providing the lift there.
You want the aggression, but talk about a killer for you. Play sound defense up against the clock for that long. Think you've got to steal and then give up a foul.
And this guy 89% too. See, that shouldn't count for him. It's got to be all net. He's got such a beautiful stroke.
Well, he could be Big Iron Smooth now instead of just Big Smooth.
Add that to the name?
Yeah.
Tell you what, the annals of Villanova, so many great players. His shot will forever be remembered.
Well, those were his only 2 points of the half.
And that's the way they play. It's all about the W.
Brunson and Bridges combined for 25. Marquette as a team, just 24. Coming up at halftime, you heard from him earlier. Kevin Burkhardt, Steve Lavin, and Jim Jackson. They're in our Los Angeles studios. They'll discuss the first half between Nova and Marquette. Plus, they'll take a look at highlights from around the country, including a top 25 matchup between Notre Dame and Villanova's next opponent, Virginia, as well as Kansas and Big Huggies, West Virginia Mountaineers. All of that coming up. Big East College Hoops on FS1 is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Number 1, Villanova, controlling this game defensively, 39-24 over upstart Marquette. Oh, we had to, it's tea time for Bill, but he managed to get back for the second half. Your thoughts about the way they rattled Marquette offensively with that suffocating D?
And they're so good at confusing you with the switching and fronting the low post. If your timing's off, they create turnovers by being active, whether it's in the passing lane, blocking shots, trapping, reading situations, forcing to do bad shots. All of those things lead up to an extraordinary offensive game. And they run some great stuff, but if you feed them, particularly with a guy like Brunson running the show, he has been 15 points, 5 for 6, decimating with the bounce, getting to the rim, makes his free throws, heady performer. There's a toughness about him, just plays totally under control, something we could learn from.
Yeah, the analytics crowd would love Brunson's game. 15 points on only 6 shots, 5 of 6 from the floor, 5 of 5 from the line. Our first half stats presented by Jeep Grand Cherokee. And the points in the paint largely came off of those turnovers. I mean, they had dunks and layups off of those turnovers.
And I thought they did a good job on the glass, too. You've got to give them one opportunity.
Well, by the way, by the time we begin this half, which is now, Hart will have been sitting for 56 minutes of real time. And only 2 points for him and 2 for Jenkins. And yet Villanova is up by 15 on the road against the team that just beat the number 17 in the country on the road last Saturday.
It's the only way to keep them motionless.
Yeah.
The 1-3-1 again. It's the one thing that did confuse them a little. Dribble drive to the crack. Down to 10, and this is where they're comfortable.
Hart looks inside and a late bump coming. Howard coming over to help, and that will be a quick number 3 on Marcus Howard, whose game has been altered so much tonight by the size of the Villanova guards and now foul difficulty. He has no points. Think about how effective he's been lately from three-point range. This Marquette team as a whole from downtown has been devastating. Tonight, shut down by Villanova. And a bump on Hauser. That's number 2 on Sam. And you can see, Bill, that anxiety in a young club when they feel like they're on the ropes.
Right. Straight up man again. Howard in that 1-3-1 zone trying to cover. Got that foul, Tim. And look at the mismatch now. He's got Bridges who can elevate or rebound. Shove one down. Another sprinkle occurs.
Brunson again.
Long.
Yep.
They run it down, though. Quick to the ball.
How about that? Jenkins not there.
Look at this rebound by Bridges.
Again. 2 great hits by Mikal Bridges.
Wow.
That was a 60-second possession, and Bridges had so much to do with making it last that long. And that's 4 on Howard. He just got 2 fouls in this sequence, Marcus Howard.
Talent is one thing, but effort is something that exudes from this basketball team. Look at that, and now that's up for grabs. 2 plays. Bridges is sensational, stepping up big time.
They got 3 fouls out of Marquette in 60 seconds, and 2 of them on Marcus Howard, and he'll be forced to sit for a long, long time. A youngster being taught a little bit of a lesson, but has had a remarkable season out of Chandler, Arizona, by way of Findlay Prep, and had been playing beyond his years coming into tonight's game. But this Villanova team has really been difficult for him tonight.
They've had their problem with this press, almost a 10-second violation. All of that worked.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Preparation was there, just the accomplishment not.
Cheatham rejected, but a foul spotted by Evan Burrows inside.
Even that, not giving up on the play with the block. You can just see in the look, too, the shoulders slumping just a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Lacking confidence. The White Shirts got to gather themselves. This is a team that's improving. They have an opportunity, if they stay solid the rest of the year, to go to the NCAA.
Oh, sure. Stuart Mandel's already got them in based on what we have right now. You know, the body of work to this point at FoxSports.com. Marquette was 12 of 24 on threes. Average, that 10 made per game. That's what they were averaging, Bill, coming in. And it's been...
Now they run them off the line. They play solid defense. Make you give the extra pass. Here's the 1-3-1 again. You've got to rebound to close the deal.
So far tonight, Marquette just 2 out of 8 from downtown. That ball was kicked by Rousey.
The weakness in this zone is the wing people have to cover the glass. And generally they are smaller. And that is a major difficulty once it goes up for grabs.
Brunson.
Nice tip.
Yep, just trying to keep it alive, and there's going to be a foul on Pascal. That's his second. He is foul prone at times. Got into some early foul trouble against Providence on Saturday.
Really plays hard.
Yeah,
puts his body on the line. What is a little move now by Marquette? Get a good solid opportunity here. Luke hasn't touched it much at all. There you got him. There you go.
Bingo.
Nice little turn trap. Bang. Nice delivery.
Just what you were calling for in the first half.
Yeah, they just get away from it a little bit, and then all of a sudden you got some people that are on your side of the building.
Fisher's got 11. Hard.
Nice.
Yes, and a foul.
That's what makes him tough. They established their pivot foot and probe with the lead foot as well as anybody. All because that guy in the sideline teaches it. Now just watch how he plants the left foot. Now we'll look at the probe and the ability. Little kiss in downtown Milwaukee.
Second foul on Fisher. Josh hit the line.
So many weapons they possess. Not getting a bunch of three-point opportunities, but getting in the lane. It's not easy to do. And that's the weakness, I think, right now for Marquette. They don't control the lane.
Cheatham inside, Fisher again. Ooh. This time Jenkins on that ball fake got airborne, and
you got to go up with the shot, though.
Yeah.
You got to get the two. It's on the floor, and this is just good, solid basketball. The ability to screen. And here he comes here. I think I got the wrong guy, but once you lock low, get yourself in here. This is just solid basketball. Look at the bag. Pin a guy! And they got to do more of that. The timing much better. Impeccable.
I love the way coaches say, pin the guy. There's Hauser.
Yeah. Mixing it up a little bit.
Yeah. 44-30. Little life in this building again. That's the first bucket for Hauser.
Now, this is a good basketball team. Lacking confidence within the game. This might get them going. They found a staple with this defense, too. Nice ball fake.
Heart pumps. Rousey skies for that rebound. Cheatham's down there with him. Cheatham with a ball fake.
He was out of bounds, and they got a hand. Now they got a hand.
Yeah, they got a reach.
They missed two cutters down the floor. Cheatham was wide open in one corner.
Jalen Brunson gets the foul, his first. And Reynolds back into the game for Pascal.
You know, when we talk about this team, you always harp they only play 7 guys, Villanova.
Yeah.
I just think they're in great shape. The timeouts, the pace they control the game is their advantage.
Rousey with the ball fake.
There you go.
Let's see if Rousey can raise this crowd's decibel level.
This is where they will be very patient unless you give them a good one early.
Yes, sir. There's the steal. And the deuce. Cheatham. 44-35.
Look at this kid get by people, huh? He's strong,
so good,
assertive, and aggressive.
He knows when his team needs him to get it done. It's that simple. 46-35.
So many weapons, Timmy. That's the thing. Nice slip again. Oh, squeeze the deal. Woo-hoo. That precious rock. Oh, Rousey able to get those puppies organized and drill it. Gets everybody a little bit excited. They get a couple in a row, and all of a sudden, you think you got something going. But this guy, Hardy, after the turnover, Hard to get the giveaway, and then the counter that all of a sudden, the hush in the building. But he ought to have earned it.
46-35, Villanova with the lead. Marquette mounting a bit of a challenge as we open the second half, Bill, but just the play of Hart, and your scouting report on him is?
The middle one jumps out, relentless motor, big-time performer, both ends of the floor, gives everything, leaves it all out, and I think the bottom one describes him aptly, a winner. So darn competitive. It just puts other people on his shoulders. He's really worked on that deep three. What do you need? He'll give you.
And look at that maturation process, which speaks to Villanova basketball in so many ways.
And the one thing that Jay told us is that in the drills, they have to stop them because he's so competitive, Hart, and say, look, there's no score here. We're not, because he's maniacal in his desire to win.
He has to white ribbon him, huh?
It's unbelievable. Now he's showing a little charm, too.
Yeah.
I like this. Smart.
3 or 4 in this half with 7 points. Just taking the game over when he has to. But that was a great story, as you see DiVincenzo now back on the floor.
Gives a little Brunson a blow. Curl and be active. Hard trying to post, and they do. Look how strong he is.
Look at that. And he gets the foul. We'll get to the free throw line as a result.
He can manhandle people. I mean, he's just such an aggressive nature. And the two D.C. area guys stick together. Jenkins with the little feed to the box.
Well, you talked about his maturation and his competitive nature. Jim Jackson did a piece this past weekend that ran on our Fox coverage of the Providence game, Bill, and it was poignant about what the young man went through growing up at Sidwell Friends and having the issues that he had academically.
Right.
And then the recruiting process. Coach Wright was actually looking at other people. He was actually looking at another recruit, and he couldn't take his eyes off Hart.
Right. Well, the big thing is the school gave him an opportunity.
That's right.
And really helped him and prepare him for the future. So you really got to admire that administration in high school.
Absolutely. Yep. Heartwarming story. Pardon the pun. Rousey, a little
He loves
teardrop.
that floater. He loves it. This kid's got some moxie, some game, a little confidence getting in that lane. And once again, they're going all the way back. 1-3-1 again. Stick him with it.
All these things we're saying about Hart, we could also, and probably did say about Steve Wojciechowski at one time as a player. And his team is playing a gritty game right now.
See, the accountability against the 1-3-1 is just not there.
Yeah.
There's so many holes in it. If you're just patient, as you saw there, get to the neck of there, the elbow, and stick it to the corner.
Rousey.
Nice cut.
To Jackson.
Nice cut. Set it up. Bailed Rousey out.
Well, you know, he did a nice job of corralling that, too. He could have double dribbled after that ball ricocheted off his chest.
When I say he bailed out Rousey, good players have bailout passes.
Six minutes gone by in the second half. It's an 11-point Villanova lead. Jenkins.
Can't give him those shots. That's dodging one. Look at this use of the floor.
Bridges one more time.
And a little cross-court pass. Yeah, Jenkins, we've seen him take the ball, throw it the length of the floor against presses. Great look.
Jay is smiling ear to ear at Bridges and watching his game evolve tonight.
Look at this play.
Hart again with a steal.
Oh,
Missed the dunk.
And nobody came with him. I think he was looking for some contact. How about you?
Yeah, I think so. And I think he was amazed no one came with him, too. No one trailed.
And they didn't really, they stayed at half court. I think it may have been Bridges there. Normally he'll run it down, but I guess he figured the senior All-American is going to finish with a plum here.
See, Reynolds was in the shot, but I think he was just amazed that he would miss that. Jenkins, by the way, picked up the foul on this end of the floor, and Rousey will trigger it in. Big break when you think about it for Marquette.
Contested three like that.
Look at him block
It's
out.
tough, but Bridges, such a huge obstacle with that wingspan. Bridges could really do some number. He's pointing to, he's got Rousey.
With this kind of a lead, Villanova can dig into the clock.
They look to him right away. This is just nice, unselfish kick.
Brunson not there. Hauser
Numbers, well, missed him.
Reinhardt.
How about those guys? Those two can get it going. Cheatham's doing a great job of cheating down the floor, too. They just haven't found him on a couple of opportunities. All of a sudden, in touch.
Fisher will come in on the next dead ball for Marquette.
They're willing to concede these corner jumpers.
There it is for Big Smooth. Not there. Tapped around. Look at that. Bridges and Pascal.
Pascal kept it alive. You're right, Timmy.
He did. 55-42. The lead back to a baker's dozen.
We got that small ball in the home where the guy invented it, Don Nelson with the Bucks.
Ooh, good call. I like that. Cheatham gets the contact and will get to the free throw line. That's the third on Pascal.
It's interesting, that little huddle tells you how Brunson has taken over. Hart used to be the guy, the catalyst, telling everybody what he expected. He's the extension right now with Jay Wright. He just picked up a nickel. I think he gave it to Eddie. Eddie's got to report that.
On Fox.
That's income taxable.
The two top women bantamweight contenders in the world enter the octagon, knowing that if they win, the final title shot is next. Valentina Shevchenko battles Juliana Pena, but only one of them will survive to challenge the champion. Don't miss UFC Fight Night, Saturday at 8 on Fox, or you can watch it live on Fox Sports Go.
When you get the clock stopped, you got to make these free throws. So you stay in touch.
Bridges, by the way, 20 is his career high. He's got 8 in the last 2.5 minutes.
And one thing about Hart in this gap here, he's got size and strength.
He's out of the game now, so Hart pumps.
Got it. That's the toughness. You just can't cover them. They overload one side, swing it, and the drill.
Cannot afford to just trade baskets with Villanova. You've got to get some stops to go along with those makes.
There's that same play, and then the duck in. This time a little better defense by Reynolds. Same play.
Cheatham.
Nice pass.
To Fisher.
Nice patience, too. Big loop. Ride it. I'd ride that play now.
Now you got to dig in and get some stops. And Villanova's best offense at times is just putting it on the rim and letting guys go get it.
And now it's straight up man. This is where the dribble drive, get touches in the lane. Little post up here. Nice pump.
He does it as well as any. Hart. Long rebound should lead to a fast break for Cheatham.
Nice hustle, DiVincenzo.
How about that? How good is that?
They don't give up on anything. It all starts with Hart. You know, just amazing. This is pretty, but it's that motor, that ticker, that desire that he exudes on a consistent basis. 11 points, 9 rebounds. That's not a bad night for most.
Yet have only made up 2 points from the deficit at the break and trail by 13. And let's go inside Jay Wright's huddle.
Listen, we still have to cheat toward the three when we make our decisions, right? They're just driving the ball. Now look, we might give them a 2 defense, but now they're just driving everything. But they're still only 2s, you get it? Get it? But it's Cheatham and Johnson that are driving. So we can go under on those guys.
They're really interesting because that play that they're running with that high ball screen, and I call it a high 5. How do you treat it? And what he's suggesting is instead of showing go under, and then you stay at home with the screener, and that's what's been their problem. So it'll be interesting to see. Now you got to counter it if you're Wojo with somebody who can make that shot. You know, whether it's Rousey or others. You know, Reinhardt.
You made the call, but the iron unkind. Pulled down by Brunson.
A little bit of a zone look now. Nice pass.
Look at that.
Jump ball.
I think so. Yeah. Wilson had all ball there, all leather. And really, Reynolds didn't have to take the ball that far back.
He didn't know he was behind him. And, you know, that sometimes dunking isn't the proper thing.
Yeah.
You know, just sort of lay it up, go to the front of the rim, extend, and don't put it back where the traffic is.
That's one of the few veteran players that Wojciechowski has, Dwayne Wilson, who's more of a complimentary player now than he was a year ago.
Good defender. And even there, he posted up and helped the pressure release. Here's the same play. Let's see how they handle it.
Nice. How about that pass?
And that time they went over because it's Reinhardt. And he had the ability to make that little pocket delivery sensational.
Yeah, he's got 15, the big fella from Germantown. 7 of 10 from the floor. They need more of that.
There's more of a 2-3 pure. That foul area is one of those areas that you can hurt people.
Bridges, not there, and that
Rousey.
was the one.
Rousey.
They got Rousey, and that's going to be, remember, Howard's already got 4. Rousey picks up that foul, and that gives him 3. So they're going to run out of players in the backcourt if this continues.
Now he's trying to check out the bigger guy, pretty competitive kid. Look, he's still.
He's like, what do you want me to do?
He's going to law school.
He's like, what do you want me to do?
That's like me trying to prove a point with you.
Come on. He's already that much taller than me.
There's that handle if they like to run. Usually that's Brunson that comes around with it. This is where they make you play defense now. See if you overextend. Here's a nice double. See how they handle it.
Bridges playing with such confidence. Not there. DiVincenzo.
Pretty good athlete.
He took it as a dime and then dropped it through. Wow.
You must be related. I think that was a big shot. You
No,
don't think so?
No.
Okay. I heard just look at his read again.
I said he took it as a dime. Brunson will get the steal. No. I was well aware that was a shot.
I just thought there was some connection with the family, you know.
Could be on my wife's side of the family.
You never know, right?
Yep. Rousey from deep.
And DiVincenzo once again hustling. What do they got? They got DiVincenzo, I think.
He was working over there with Reinhardt. Yeah, and I think that's who got tagged with a foul. That's number 3. Actually, it's Hart, his 3rd. Flying bodies down around that baseline.
Well, they've executed nicely, and you know, during one of the timeouts you said to me, they're matching baskets. That's not healthy,
right?
You know, it's pretty solid offensive runs, but they just can't get enough stops in a row at the other end. How about this kid? 91% from the free throw line, 33 of 36.
Bill, I'm looking out there now, and Reinhardt is at the stripe. But in a lot of ways, Wojo, now he's going to get Howard in the game. Think about the night he's having. Howard has been shut down. Rousey sits down. This kid was 4 of 8 from the floor, 6 boards in 24 minutes. He had 26 on 10 of 18 shooting on Martin Luther King Day in a game at Butler. He's been lights out. And tonight, it's just been a lesson in hard knocks against a veteran backcourt from Villanova.
Yeah, some guys just put a big challenge, contest shots, preparation.
I mean, this kid,
he had a good Creighton game too.
He's just been lights out until tonight. We'll see if he can play with some confidence in the remaining time. You keep thinking he's only scratching the surface in tonight's game, but can he make plays when he already has 4 fouls? Is it affecting him psychologically?
Once again, the 1-3-1 weak side rebounding is a key here. Smaller guys underneath. Haskell, like that.
That's an over
check
the back.
out Howard.
Yeah. Oh no, they got Howard.
Yeah, he checked
on the route out. Yep, and he's gone. That's the same foul Rousey got a few moments ago.
That's the problem with the 1-3-1 zone. Your wings are smaller and ineffective at times. But this has been the better defense, or best, I should say.
Might we get a technical here? I think Howard may have said something to Mike Eads on his way to the bench.
I will just see down here what happens. See? You know, that it is a foul.
It is a foul.
You know,
there's no doubt about that. 7 minutes played and no points. It looks a certain way because one guy is so much smaller than the other, but you're right, that is a foul.
Well, you are taught to do exactly what he tried to do.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, stick him is what the coaches say.
Yeah.
Get that derriere and hold them off, but you just can't ride a guy out, and that's the difficulty again with the wings covering.
I want to credit Mike Eads because Howard is only 17. He's a good kid. He's having a horrible night. He's fouled out of the game, and he did say something to him. And Mike, like a lot of really good officials, is also quick to discipline players. And I think he decided, you know what, I'm going to go over and talk to Wojo and clear it up and just say, don't let it happen again.
You know, all this noise here, I thought you stood up. Well, they got upset. More of his own look now. Nice.
There's that Johnson drive that Jay Wright was talking about. Leads to Reinhardt.
But he can fill it up, can he? A nice shot by Wilson getting it to him as well.
That was
back to 11.
That was textbook from Jay's huddle a moment ago. That's what Johnson's doing. It's his drive to the kick out, and it led to that three. Now, can you get a stop?
That's the key.
Hart again.
How about that? Again, the crowd didn't like it, but I think that was a little bit of a flop on that baseline. But the composure to get those puppies organized and drill it. Boy, that shot has just complemented his all-around game.
You can't come back if you're trading baskets. Reinhardt, one more time.
Wow. Don't go under on him.
But what about down here? 12 points, 11 this half for Reinhardt. Howard reduced to a spectator role.
Look at this look and nobody back. Nice hands.
Reinhardt tipped away.
Got it hard.
Oh, Hart again. And he finds Reynolds, who stays with it and puts it in.
The Hart does things in a game that are beyond description.
Boy, Jay is really upset that there was no whistle there, Bill. He was really upset. Wow.
Once in a while, the extra pass, the ability to stroke that thing, and if you go under on this kid like they do here, nice little bump, they had that on there. The big body of Fisher. Reinhardt out. With an opportunity to get them going. Some stops needed.
55, 6.5 remaining. There's been no signs of life, Bill, but you wonder, you know, can you get two stops successively? And that's been the issue. Wojo thinks so. Let's go inside the huddle.
Shot goes up. We can't just watch. Go get the ball. 50-50 ball. We got to go grab it. I'm telling you, we get one of those things, it's going to be an 8-point game. It's going to be a single-digit game. We got to make the extra effort plays. Extra effort plays.
Well, there's one guy that made the extra effort plays when he performed Defensive Player of the Year. But this opportunity here, who wants it more? Look at this from backcourt area. And the extra pass that they covered pretty good. This is just sensational effort by Hart each and every play. And that's what you've got to match. And no question, Wojo, to get some stops, anything up for grabs, you've got to take advantage.
Always that positive approach from him, too, which you got to admire. Kid. You know, hard to believe he's 40, isn't it?
Jeez. I've got some suits that old. He leaves it all out there, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. When he got through with the game at Creighton, I thought he was Gary Williams coming over to shake McDermott's hand. He had so much sweat.
Is that well, he does. He takes the jacket off once in a while. Got to get him to wear lighter shirts, right?
Fisher, who's had a good night for Marquette. 15 points on 7 of 10 shooting.
So important to make these. They're a great free throw shooting team. It's utterly amazing. 80%.
Oh boy, 2 big misses
that
there.
Hurts. Takes the air out of you too, doesn't it? Regroup now. Extend it just a little bit more. Nice cross court, extra pass. Everybody ready to catch and be a threat. Nice rebound. Look who's there again. I mean, he just plays so much bigger than he is.
Hart
charge.
Yeah.
I would agree. Let's see which way they do it.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
And that's 4 on Hart, which
Yeah.
is significant. Jay is still a little hot. He's working Ed Corbett pretty good.
All right, I think it's the right call. Let's see. I think he's there plenty of time before he elevates. He's great at avoiding that. That's probably what Jay, feeling he's so successful frequently. It can't happen to me.
Probably should say he was lobbying with Ed Corbett, a little more upset with Evan Burrows.
Well, he knows his name better. Shuffle, ball, screen, pop.
Hauser.
Oh, goodness. Nice rebound.
Fisher stays with it.
On the floor.
I think they may have gotten it on the floor.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. And that's the 4th on Darrell Reynolds. So, Bill, we could see some attrition for Villanova that could...
seldom does it happen, really.
Yeah, you're right. That could change things here with guys like Hart and Reynolds, each with 4. Got to make the freebies, though.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Very flat. You know, he looks like he keeps these guide hand on too long.
And this is not a terrible free throw shooter statistically.
No.
I mean, he's not a... That's anxiety, I think. You got to want the moment. He's 1 of 5 tonight.
Wow, he is really... You're right. He's just psychologically impaired for the evening.
The lead remains 13.
Confident enough to get to that neck. Nice hands. That saved it. But they had Pascal in the right spot. Jenkins is a deceptive good passer. He really sees things and willing to sacrifice.
Wojciechowski's going to get Cheatham in and take Fisher out.
They can play small with this group. The only problem is that activity on the glass.
Jenkins. Cheatham the rebound.
They got balance.
Wilson for 3.
Wow. How about that? Nice pump. Hauser gives it to him. There's life in this team. They are not going away.
Well, it's a one-time leading scorer of this team. Not this year, but in the past. And it's down to 10. DiVincenzo. And another foul on a block out again. Evan Burrows is going to tag Sam Hauser, I think, this time. Or could it be Reinhardt? No, they're actually going to give it to Jawan Johnson on the root out. Same principle, though, Bill. It's the block out, root out.
Well, it's a small lineup for both teams, but the athleticism, and look at DiVincenzo. I mean, he came from that foul area. And they are just a little more active in pursuit of those rebounds. Elevate, react, and some hops.
It really has been the same variety foul, though, hasn't it? For Marquette.
Yes, yeah. But I'm listening to the fans here. They're going to go to confession Saturday. Automatic switch.
Cheatham on a blow-by. Everything but a finish. Stays with it and is fouled. I think DiVincenzo got him.
I think you're right. Well, he did a real nice job getting the lane. They forced him to go to his right. He does love to spin back, but they didn't permit him. That's why he missed the first one. Just this angle here now. Normally he likes to drop that way, but forcing him to a tough shot, but quicker. And the agility inside, and no question, number 10. Oh, goodness, that's five in a row.
5 in a row. When you know that the opponent has gotten into your head. And the anticipation and the confidence level was such a big point, I think, coming into this game after that win at Creighton the other day.
Plenty of time left. Although I think Hart will come in after the TV timeout.
Well, I mean, it's a 9-point game right now.
Yeah. Just rebound if you're Marquette. And conversely, look at this little lob.
Oh, a little strong. Reinhardt controls it. A bucket here, and the building explodes.
I think you got to catch that pass.
Wilson, a blow by, and that's a block on Brunson.
How about the experience of Wilson stepping up now? Been around a few years. Brunson with a really good pass, I thought, but it should have been a catch versus a jam. But you see him make the three, and now the ability to attack. Not too bad by Dwayne.
Bill, this could be quite a story if they do mount a comeback with Dwayne Wilson. This young man, reduced to a role player with the young guns that have come in. Free throw problems continue, but he had a tough week. He was scoreless in 12 minutes at Butler. Only 1 for 2 in 12 minutes in the game against Creighton. It's been a long struggle for him. If they come back with this kid, it could be a nice story for Wojciechowski.
Good start with making a free throw. 6 out of 7 now.
Yeah.
There you go.
How much longer, if you're Jay Wright, do you sit hard?
I'm going to wait till after the TV timeout.
Okay.
That's my guess. How about you?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Bridges.
Long.
Wilson the rebound.
Just be patient.
Oh, stop and go. Stop and go.
The blow by. Nobody stopped the dribble.
68, 62, yeah. Time still remaining.
And Hart is up to answer you. They're not going to wait. Rebounding's the key here for both teams.
DiVincenzo.
No.
Cheatham has it. Johnson snuck out, Bill, just as you mentioned. They missed him again.
They do a good job of getting down the floor.
He wants it, though. 7-0 run in the last 2.
Defensively, you got to know your player for the ball screen. Are you going to go under or over? They go over.
Shot clock under 10.
They want to ISO.
Hauser, that's his spot.
Ooh! Patience by Reinhardt.
Timeout, Villanova. Listen to this. You don't need a map to find the top. Just look up. No formula to find the numbers. Just count. 1, 2. They're all coming for you. You're the chased and the coveted, the tail and the target. Each night, you're everyone's season. Every game, you're every team's grail. You've obtained it. Now, sustain it. Right now, it's the hunter that's getting the job done against the hunted, Bill.
Unbelievable, sticking to it. The 1-3-1's been good, forcing those corner jump shots that have been ineffective. And then at the other end, how about this one? You aptly described that little blow by with the left. Number 1, attacking. How about that? Rousey, he's working for Bulova. I think. He got time, he knows it, and this is the guy I think that's really done some nice things, Reinhardt, whether it's his effect with the shot or the extra look. Wilson able to knock it down big time. This is all about getting ready for the tournament.
Yes.
This is a challenge for Villanova now. Do they have the poise?
Listen, this kid had to have lost some of his confidence when his playing time was impacted. And Hart is back on the floor. Here we go.
They've done a good job trapping this. I think Hart's got to do it quicker if he's going to do it.
Jenkins from downtown.
Look who goes for it. He's
it?
unbelievable.
Yeah, it's unreal.
He is incredible. What effort. If you want to become a player, watch this guy perform. That's what makes this guy smile. Everything he believes is his. No free outs, anything up for grabs. It's not 50-50, it's 90-10 with Hart.
How about the story of Dwayne Wilson in this half with Marcus Howard fouling out of the game, the freshman sensation. Tremendous story. And as you look at our game reset, Golden Eagles can stop the clock one more time, but Villanova has the possession arrow if there's a scrum. They've managed to make this comeback with woeful shooting from the free throw line. I mean, if they've made, at one point they missed 6 of 7.
Yeah, at one time, yeah. Hart now 79% free throw shooter.
7 of 14 this half, Marquette at the stripe. And now Hart, after coming away with a 50-50 ball that, as you said, when he's on the deck, is more 90-10, is at the line. 1 and 1. Oh, that changes things.
Yeah.
They shoot for a possible tie on this possession. Hauser, the kid from Stevens Point, number 10.
Look at this kid step in.
Wow.
He's amazing. He is utterly amazing. Not only his anticipation, but his knowledge soaks up scouting reports. Diffuses the opponent. We got Bridges who can do the same thing. They jump passing lanes.
Wilson again, rejected by Reynolds, knocked away with 13 to shoot.
Boy, that was a big-time play.
Yes, it was.
Wow. Just this run out, the timing. That is just gorgeous. Not for Marquette, but for basketball fans. Great read. Go to the hoop.
Reinhardt's got to do it on his own now. Clear out. Yes.
Oh! Wow. Over the outstretched defense.
70-67. Over 90 seconds left in Milwaukee.
You got to talk rebound and be tough.
DiVincenzo. Cheatham the rebound. A 3-ball will tie it.
Villanova's going to get Hart back in on the stop.
Reinhardt. Yes! Oh, the Lion song.
How about that? Wow. You said he's much traveled earlier. He was deep. Whew. Did that wake up this audience? 17 points for the game. 16 this half. Whew. Was that big time? And it's by number 22.
Bill, this completes, for the moment, a 15-2 run by Marquette.
Jay, pretty cool there on the sideline, which you have to be when they come in the huddle.
What is more amazing about this comeback by Marquette, 50% they've been shooting at the line this half. Okay, 50%. Howard, your young gun who's been shooting lights out, probably freshman of the year in the league.
Well, when you're forced to take jump shots frequently, too, which they've made Villanova do, you're not getting anything where there's a drive and a nice little mid-range shot. It's been just tough.
Wilson and Hauser have keyed this comeback.
They have. They've been terrific. On the catch, not afraid to shoot it. Hauser stepped up big time, but nobody bigger with the ticker than Caden Reinhardt.
And that's a lot of what Jay Wright was talking to us about today. Is this is a completely different team than the one they blew out in Philadelphia a few weeks back.
They've improved. You mentioned that road win. They've been fresh. They look sharp at their walkthrough today.
5 3-balls in the last 7 minutes for Marquette. The best shooting, 3-point shooting team. Villanova is ranked number 2 in the league in just about every offensive category because of Marquette.
Well, this 1-3-1 zone has been really a treat for Marquette.
A minute left.
They got a foul.
Yeah, they did on Bridges.
Bridges, yeah. Must have swiped the head.
And who better to go to the line at this point in the game for Wojo than this guy, Wilson.
73% shooter.
And a veteran.
That was a hustle play by Bridges, but just scraped as he goes by here.
Yeah, that's a good call.
A little bit of the body.
They've had 12 opportunities against number ones.
Now, Villanova's got to do more than just settle for jump shots, which they have been doing. Ball movement, driving, even when you get into the corner, come on an angle to the foul line. That's going to open up things for you.
Marquette has their first lead of the night. Brunson.
Look who's there. Look who's there.
Just
5-second difference.
Running from rim to rim. Hart again, and we're tied at 72.
Timeout, Wojo.
And you mentioned it, 5-second differential between the shot and game clock.
Pretty darn good.
Well, you know, I was with you during the Gavitt games. It's good to be back with you now.
It sure
in January.
is. And this is soft enough to be rebounded. And he's been on the wing coming down. And that's the difficulty with this 1-3-1 zone. If you're not making shots, you got to chase him down. And who better than Hart?
The only time Marquette has beaten a number one in 12 tries. I believe you were there for this one.
Yeah, I was with Van Lundquist, my old pal. And unbelievable. That got him to the Final Four, and that name had a lot to do with it. And Dwayne Wade, big-time performer. What a great career he's had in the NBA.
Tom Green.
I was surprised when I read that, too, because I'm thinking Al had to have one back in his days. But right now, the ball screen is one of their favorite. The high ball screen with the roll. Let's see what they do with that one. Who they go under with Villanova. They've been talking about certain guys cheating for one, going under. I think you've got to be proactive and just don't settle deep.
Well, the one thing that we've seen on the pick and roll, isn't it funny that Rolly Massimino talked today for about 30 minutes with Jay Wright about defending the pick and roll.
Right.
Hauser is a really good pick and pop guy. And he, along with Caitlin Reinhardt and Wilson, have been really the three go-to guys.
You got to be careful with your passing to because Villanova, we saw Brunson jump it. You know, Bridges is with that length as well. And they're going to go with Reinhardt on some sort of a screen, I think. Let's see what they do. I think you got to go at the rim. Johnson, a great driver, too.
Looks like it's going to be Reinhardt's call. Off the pick from Hauser. Right to the rack, and he's fouled.
Oh, they got it on the wing, I think, on Jenkins. On the reach-in. Got to go to the rim in these situations. Putting pressure on the officials.
Third foul on Jenkins. That look of anxiety has turned into a look of anticipation. A lot of guys growing up on that sideline over there for Marquette. You know, Howard fouled out with no points, but Reinhardt and Wilson, 28 combined. They've been the answer.
91% free throw shooter. That'll tell you something. Boy, these kids hung in there, didn't they?
Yeah, and Wojo told us Reinhardt loves the big moment. Oh, this is it. 74-72.
I think they're going to call.
I think the clock started to run before Brunson touched it.
Right.
And he pointed that out to Ed Corbett. That was a heads-up play by him.
They're going to get a free timeout now.
They are. And Wojo's upset about it. But a heads-up play, you know, how many kids are sophomores who figured that out?
Smart. And they're going to have to get the teams back on the floor. I don't think Jay actually... Well, this is a nice break, I think, for the offense, don't you?
Absolutely.
This is for the referees to just make sure it stays the same.
Well, look at this, though.
I think the anticipation when he was going to touch it, and he knew right there.
How about that?
It's amazing.
Who has the presence of mind at this stage of their career to do that?
The big thing, we've talked about the 1-3-1 zone. It's going to give you some opportunities with jump shots, but the big thing is the glass. Reynolds a big-time factor, Bridges a big-time factor, and we know what Hart can do pursuing the ball.
No timeouts remaining for Villanova, which is what makes this stoppage for the clock malfunction so key. And Steve, understandably is upset about it, but, Brunson made the kind of play that Steve Wojciechowski would have made years ago for Mike Krzyzewski. Just a heads-up play.
Oh, yeah, no question about it. And they stuck to their game plan. He found the comfort zone with the 1-3-1 zone. And Villanova settled quite a bit for jump shots, and they came up empty on frequent trips.
We were talking earlier about the signature wins, Bill, and they finally got theirs, arguably, against Creighton. How big would this be in the city of Milwaukee for Wojo?
What a statement game, no question. That's what happens at this time of year. And when you're building up your resume in terms of the NCAA tournament, beating the ranked teams is part of the formula.
We think it ought to be 11 seconds.
You know what? I think the referees are wondering whether he touched it or not.
Yeah.
I mean, it was deceptive.
It was close.
Yeah. He being Brunson, of course.
We'll look at it one more time here. He started to go for the ball, and that was when he recognized that the clock had started running.
I don't think he touched it, though. I think he moved his hands away.
I don't either.
See?
Right. And right. It's like, yeah. See,
they're going to come tell us.
So they are going to reset the clock to 10.4 seconds. And Bill just got an explanation from Mike Eads.
He did not touch it, which we assumed by watching it. So they put it 10-4.
And a free timeout.
Yeah, more importantly. Yeah. You got to check Hart out.
Brunson all the way to the rack. No! Number one has fallen in Milwaukee.
Seashells and balloons. Big Al smiling, I'm sure, watching this.
Yeah, up in heaven, he would be passing out some toy soldiers. Yes, he would.
Yes, he would.
Yep.
A gutsy effort by this team. They couldn't get over that 11-10, but the dribble drive and then the activity on the glass, they went man-to-man on the last trip. I think because of the concern of the rebounding and just coming up empty at the rim.
They finished the game, Bill, on a 19-4 run, Marquette, in the last 5:14.
Boy, sealing the deal.
Wojo talked about getting his team over the hump. They were young. They had no bad losses. But they didn't have the big wins.
They got two in a row now.
Now they've got two in a row. And that's the kind of hug Wojo gave Coach K after beating North Carolina as a player. And that spunk and youth served him well in tonight's game. Marcus Howard to the far left freshman sensation, won't turn 18 until March. Scoreless in tonight's game. And yet, the transfer Reinhardt. Dwayne Wilson, the junior, who had become a forgotten player because of all the youth. And Sam Hauser, a freshman from Stevens Point, turned it around and gave his team a momentous victory.
Well, we got a gentleman here a little bit to do with it. Bojo, the 1-3-1 zone, unbelievable. You wrote it until the end when you went man.
Yeah, you know, we didn't know how it would work, but we felt like you can't give Villanova just one defense. They're too good. And, you know, in all honesty, we probably caught them on an off-shooting night. But I'm so proud of our guys. You know, we looked like we were dead in the water. And our guys kept fighting, and they kept believing. And I'm really proud of it. Our players won the game, and they were terrific. And I'm really happy for our fans as well.
Well, one of the timeouts to me, and we got a kick out of it, was, you know, 150-50 ball. We can get from 10 to 8 or 11 to 8. And the kids just competed. And the glass itself, you know, in the 1-3-1 zone, they admirably dealt with it, I think.
Yeah, Villanova is a great program. Jay does an amazing job. In order to beat them, you have to have a world-class effort. And I thought our guys showed incredible heart and toughness to keep fighting in this game.
Pretty good looking there, isn't it?
That's great.
Yeah, I'm happy for our fans. Our fans are really hungry and passionate. And that's what I love about them. And I'm happy they get to celebrate a great win like this.
Steve, when it looked as if your guys were having anxiety, it's a young team. They're turning it over. It looks like it's affecting their shot. Marcus Howard has been basically removed from the game. You turn to Dwayne Wilson, a complimentary player who's one of your stars when you got here. And now he and the transfer Reinhardt take the game, and Hauser's big shots. Talk about those moments that you got from them.
Well, yeah, and Dwayne and Caton's, you know, both those kids have had great attitudes. You know, Dwayne, we've asked him to take on a different role. And a lot of times in this day and age, when you ask a kid to take on a different role, they can check out. Dwayne has been a terrific leader for us and obviously was a huge part of our win. Caton started our season, and he didn't find his footing until Big East play. He's found it now, and you can see he's one of the best players around.
How about the drive at the end? I mean, what did you say then? Did you want them to attack off the dribble?
Yes. We wanted to get the switch with their center, and I told Kate to drive the ball and then take what's presented.
Here's a look at it.
That's unbelievable. You got what you wanted.
This was a defensive play that you got at the end.
That's the Brunson drive. You went man on that particular play and got the rebound. That was the key, I think, getting rebound.
We asked our guys, can we stop him in our 1-3-1, or do you want to play man? And all of them said we want to play man. Because our 1-3-1 got us back into the game.
Right.
And
so a democracy. Very nice.
So they said, well, Coach, we'll get a stop in man, which thankful they did, because I didn't want to give up a 3.
Right. Coach was talking to you about Caitlin's drive. When we talked to you at the shoot-around today, we mentioned guys that embrace the moment. And you said Reinhardt right away, that he was the guy that when the chips are down and you need a big shot, that's the guy you like.
You know, Caton, he didn't start out the season great for us, but he's a big-time player, and I knew he was going to find his footing, and he certainly has. And we're very fortunate, you know, to get the foul ball, and he's got to make tough free throws.
I'll tell you what, 91% though, it's not bad.
No, we wanted the ball in his hands, and for him to make a play.
You were 7 of 14 at the line in the second half until those two went down.
I know you want to. I know you want to enjoy this. Think about what you've accomplished the last 2 games. I mean, it's 2 big-time programs, well-established, resume providers. It's got to make you feel good that the progress you've made with this program.
Oh, our program's made a lot of progress, and tonight's an indication of that. You know, this is not our championship, though. I want our fans to enjoy it. I want our players to enjoy it, but we got a lot more work to do.
Well, we love being with you, but we're going to have Mr. Reinhardt come in. You don't mind, do you?
No, you should talk to him.
Okay, Steve, congratulations.
Congratulations, Steve.
Happy for you, buddy. A remarkable performance to think his team was down but never out. And Reinhardt, the much-traveled youngster from California by way of USC, makes the big play late. Caton, congratulations on the comeback, and what, as I think a band once said, what a long, strange journey it's been for you. What a moment, huh?
I'm so blessed right now, man. It's just, it goes to show how hard I work and how much my teammates trust in me. And the coaching staff, man, they've just believed in me from day one since I came on campus. I couldn't be more proud, man. I told them we're going to win this game today. My teammates, everybody in there believed. It was rough, but we battled, man. We battled. And I'm just so happy, man. This is a dream come true, and I'm so blessed, man. God has given me this ability to do this on the highest stage, and I just praise him, man, every day. It's amazing.
You're very coachable, I think, because I have a feeling when the switch with the big guy came, were you thinking jump shot a little bit? If he gave you space.
I was. So at Creighton.
Here.
Tell us what you're thinking here.
So at Creighton, I had the big play off of me a little bit, so I was able to have a lot of open jump shots. And tonight, right before the play coach drew up, he just said, watch him if he stays high. If he stays high, drive. And he switched out high right away, and I just took him right to the basket. And if I wasn't going to get a layup, I was going to find somebody else out there. And I was lucky enough to get to the line and get a draw foul.
How about shooting 91% from the free throw line? You got to have confidence. You're probably happy they did give you the foul.
I was mad at myself for missing the first one early on today. And, I just knew that I was going to have another opportunity, next play, next moment. And it came down to making those free throws. It came down to doing that. Man, I'm so happy. I can't even describe it. I can't even describe it.
Because you're one of the veterans in terms of playing time at the collegiate level, you're out there with a lot of young guys. Howard is just 17, and he's having a rough night. And you see Hauser, another kid from Wisconsin, Stevens Point. This is such a young team, and you made. What kind of impact as a leader do you feel you can make off this performance tonight and moving forward this year with this team?
Just being an older guy, being played in the tournament twice, playing on a big stage and playing in big games in my career. I just try to keep them poised and be as much as a leader by example as well as being vocal on the floor. Sometimes I'm not as vocal, and that's something that I've worked on since I've been here, and they're helping me out, the coaching staff doing that. But just leading by example, man, just helping them stay poised in tough moments. They're going to make runs in college basketball. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And like they did tonight, they made runs, and we just had to stay through it. Fight, 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 and that's all I was telling them the whole game. Find a way and believe, and we believe tonight.
Kate, let me ask you this, though. Did any conversation with your team saying the value of these two games, the importance come Selection Sunday?
Yeah. Well, man, we had a few slip away from us early on in the conference, and we grew from it. We learned and grew, and at the game at Creighton, we had a breakthrough. We talked about having a breakthrough this year, and that was one of our breakthroughs. Coming in tonight was another breakthrough. We had a chance to play the #1 team on our home floor, and we didn't show up the first time we played there. We played, very soft, and we just let them do whatever they wanted to. And coming in here tonight was the main focus, man, was just play as hard as we can, fight and believe.
I think you've got a career after this, too. You're very articulate.
Man,
give me a couple more years.
We're running out of time, but I am going to ask you, I need a quick response. That 16-point lead you blew on Martin Luther King Day at Butler, did you guys learn from that moment?
Yeah, that's one of the things we talked about going into Creighton.
Okay.
We got to value the basketball, and we've been a very good first half team all year. We've been in games besides 1 or 2 games this year. We've been in all of them first half. Second half.
Work on your free throw shooting, though.
Oh, yeah, I will.
I'm very disappointed you missed.
Congratulations,
Thank you so much. I'm going to go celebrate with my team, man. This is awesome.
I don't blame you. Enjoy it.
Thank you so much.
Honor for us to share in these moments, Bill. It's what makes the game so magnificent. And don't tell me that the regular season of college basketball isn't event-filled. How about this at the end of the game tonight?
I'll tell you what, they got out there faster than most of the fast breaks. Look at the hug over there. Wojo with Kate Reinhardt.
Woo. Yeah, faster than you and I to our postgame.
Yeah, exactly. They're waiting with a bated breath.
Oh, boy. Magnificent night in Milwaukee. Waking up the echoes of proud tradition reborn. Only the second time in 13 tries, Marquette knocks out a #1. That's our final. And now let's go to Kevin Barkart and company in Los Angeles.